It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, we did it. We survived yet another Monday, rolling along on a Tuesday. And, John, you said we got birthdays and all kinds of stuff we need to recognize today.
Yes, my first cousin, my dear cousin, Miss Virginia Frost, she lives over here behind Max, just a few blocks up here.
Man, Virginia Frost, what a beautiful name.
But today is her birthday.
That sounds like
And it was also her mother's birthday.
Oh,
March
that's
the
nice.
7th.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's her birthday. And on this day, 60 years ago, 1963, her daddy, which was my mother's brother, Uncle Fred Wood, found what was for years, at that time and then for years to come, the biggest diamond that had ever been found at Murfreesboro.
Oh, hey, look at there.
And this was before it was open, it was a park.
Right.
Him and my aunt, his wife, Aunt Bessie, their hobby was, when he wasn't working, he owned a sawmill. And he had kind of gotten a little older and didn't hunt and fish as much. And they would go to Murfreesboro and dig for diamonds.
I like it.
And he found it. I've got a picture of it. I'm going to post it on Facebook. He's got a picture with a stick pointing to the spot there where he found it.
Right.
But he had it made into a ring. And sent it off, I believe, to New York and had it made into a ring.
Wow.
That was 1963. He passed away in 1970. And they had a Reynolds Construction Company had built a new school in Chittister in 1969.
Okay.
They hired a couple of guys that had moved in there to work for Reynolds Construction. They lived at White Oak, and they just stayed on when they got through with the school.
Gotcha.
Well, the rumor got out that Uncle Fred was buried with the ring on him.
Oh.
So they got drunk and got brave and tried to dig up my Uncle Fred.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And my mama was the one that found the grave open. And if you go in, and he was buried in a vault.
Okay.
And if you go in the back of Proctor's up here right now, Proctor's Funeral Home, you go in the back where you select the caskets if your loved one passes away.
Right.
There's a framed picture back there in Proctor's where the company that produced the vault that he was buried in, they dug all the way around it and tried to chop in the vault with a chopping axe.
Dadgum.
Couldn't get in it. It got daylight. And they left, and they were going to come back that night with a saw and try to cut into it. Well, my mother found it. Jerry McMahon was sheriff. They had a clue, I think, as to who it might be. They set up a roadblock. They were living at White Oak. Set up a roadblock out on Highway 57. They caught him in a roadblock, and they still had the same. It's red clay. Red Hill Cemetery is red clay.
Right.
They still had the red clay all over them, and they were still drunk.
Wow.
They got them at each end of the truck. And, of course, both of them talked and blamed the other one.
Right.
But both of them were sentenced to prison. And I think one of them died in prison. The other one died later on after he got out with cancer.
Golly.
But they never got in there to Uncle Fred. But the ring wasn't on him. It was in a lockbox in the bank in Gurdon. And his son, Jesse Wood, who at that time owned the hardware in Chittister, got the ring out of the lockbox and wore it around for a period of time, so everybody could see that Uncle Fred wasn't buried with it on there.
Right.
On him. But he found that diamond 60 years ago today. And like I said, if you go to Proctor's, you can go back there in the back, and there's a framed picture of the vault open, but where they dug all the way around it.
Yep.
And didn't get in there to him. But my mother my daddy had the service station in Chittister, and he had forgotten his lunch. And my mama took him his lunch. And she stopped back by the cemetery, and she liked to have a stroke.
Yeah, I can
She
imagine.
went to the nearest house, called my daddy at the station. Of course, he thought she'd done had a episode. He closed the station up and come out there, and sure enough, they tried to dig up Uncle Fred.
Wow, that is amazing.
They didn't do it.
Right.
But if you go in the back of Proctor's, you'll see the picture of it back there. But 60 years ago today, Uncle Fred found that big diamond, and today's Miss Virginia, my cousin, today's her birthday. Wanted to wish her happy birthday and let her know we all love her. And That's just a little piece of trivia a lot of folks don't know nothing about.
Virginia Frost sounds like something right out of a Huckleberry Finn novel.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful name. I love that.
Well, as a matter of fact, she's the mayor's mother.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte Young's mother.
I'll be dang.
Yeah, Miss Virginia.
Well,
That's
there you
Charlotte.
go.
That's Charlotte's mother. Today's her birthday.
I'd say I'd never.
And I know how old she is, but as far as I'm concerned, she's 39.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare tell her age because I wouldn't. If I was a beautiful woman like her, I wouldn't want my age told either. But today's the honorable mayor, Charlotte. That's her mother's birthday.
Very cool. All right, that's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here for today, folks. But we do want you to go check out PrescottRaceway.net. Check out the full schedule coming up for Prescott Raceway. They're just about ready to get fired up. 5121 out there at Highway 53 East. Or you can stop by the Napa store and talk to Jackie Lewis about all the things they got going on at the Prescott Raceway.
And we got ProMed Ambulance, 1-800-634-0436.
Also, Sherwin-Williams House Paint, 315 Jefferson Street, right here in Camden. Give Greg Bradshaw and his staff a call at 836-8125.
And we got JJ down at the Shopper's Guide. If you got any printing needs, give JJ a call.
All right, John, we'll see you tomorrow, bud.
See you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.